Is Formula One in 2025 just boring now? The uncomfortable truth fans don't want to admit. Let's not sugarcoat it. 2 races into 2025, and a creeping sense of déjà vu is setting in. After years of domination by Red Bull and Max Verstappen, the new season promised change. Ferrari had Hamilton, McLaren had momentum, new rookies were entering the grid. But here we are, 3 races deep, and the question no one really wants to ask is getting louder. Is Formula One in 2025 just boring? The sport has more technology, more access, and more money than ever, but somehow less adrenaline, less tension, less madness. And if you're one of those fans quietly wondering why you're less excited on Sundays lately, this article is for you. The McLaren Mirage. When Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri split wins in Australia and China, McLaren looked untouchable. They had pace, strategy, consistency. The papaya-colored fairy tale was underway, but then Suzuka happened, and Verstappen put everyone on notice. The reigning champ took pole, won in style, and reminded fans that if there's going to be a narrative this year, it won't be McLaren walking away with it. Red Bull isn't dead. They're regrouping, and that means we're right back in familiar territory. 1 or 2 teams at the top, and a midfield that might as well be fighting over breadcrumbs. It's competitive at the top, but only if you're wearing the right colours. Are today's drivers too nice? Let's talk about the people in the cars. Because while performance gaps are frustrating, it's the drivers who once made this sport captivating. Today's grid is stacked with talent, but almost no one is willing to break rank. Everyone's polite. Everyone respects team orders. Nobody ignores the pit wall anymore. Nobody throws their gloves or trashes the car or storms out of a debrief. They're efficient, obedient, civilized, but you know what they aren't? Dangerous. Senna once risked death to hold a racing line. Mansell pushed himself to unconsciousness in the heat. Alonso told his own team to shut up mid-race and did things his way. These were men who drove on instinct and ego as much as telemetry. Now, a strategist tells a driver to back off, and it's copy that. In 2025, you're more likely to see a meme on social media than a driver go rogue in a race. Formula One isn't just losing chaos, it's losing characters. Predictability is killing the buzz. In 2023, we had Max win 19 out of 22 races. Fans cried foul. It was too predictable. In 2024, things finally cracked open. Ferrari, McLaren, and even Mercedes had moments of glory. We had new winners, shock podiums, chaos in the rain. But here in 2025, we're watching the early makings of another monopoly. 3 races, 2 teams, no real surprises. The midfield can barely sniff a podium unless there's a typhoon. That unpredictability we crave, the magic of an underdog clawing his way through the field, is becoming rarer. Even tire strategies are managed by algorithms now. No more roll-of-the-dice calls or pit lane gambles that make or break a season. Every move is simulated 1 billion times before the car even leaves the garage. The result? Clean, clinical, sterile. The death of the rebel. There's also a cultural shift happening in the paddock. Drivers are now brands. Every comment is PR managed. Every feud is squashed in a joint Instagram post. No one wants to be the villain. No one wants to be controversial. But fans need villains. We need rivalries. We need the guy who flips the bird, who refuses to play nice, who says, if I crash, but I'm not letting him past. In 2025, that edge is gone. The danger is gone. And the sport feels neutered for it. It's not just nostalgia. The data agrees. Let's talk stats. In 1999, we had 6 different winners. In 2012, we had 7 winners in the first 7 races. Even during Schumacher's peak, there was still tension. Would his teammate disobey orders? Would a rival pull a miracle lap? In 2025, we've had 3 races and only 2 winners. The table is already forming into the usual pyramid. 2 drivers at the top, maybe a third, if Verstappen's feeling spicy, and everyone else politely queuing for P6. The sport looks competitive, but feels flat. The verdict? Boring is a bigger threat than ever. Formula One is supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport. But when everything is predictable, when the drivers don't rebel, when strategy is just math, and when only two teams are playing the game, what's left to keep you glued to the screen? Don't mistake this for doom and gloom. The sport isn't dead, but it is in danger of becoming so polished, so clean, so corporate, that it forgets what made it thrilling in the first place. We need drama. We need chaos. We need a little less control and a lot more courage. This is Formula One dramas, and we're not here to sugarcoat it. Is F1 boring now, or are we just expecting too much? Let us know in the comments. And if you want the real takes no one else dares to post, hit subscribe, because someone has to keep this sport honest.